Hello, folks. Here's clip 2. Forgive me if I repeat myself. It's totally on, no script, off the top of my head. And you'll see, I'm probably repeat myself a lot. I'm documenting the fact that I've been sick for 12 years because of this cell phone. I'm sick and tired of not being recognized as a viable lab rat. I am the lab rat that needs to be scrutinized, documented. I need to get PET scans done to show more evidence. I wish the health, the scientific community, medical community had guts enough, because I got it for sure, to take samples of my brain tissue and the tissues between the head, the outside the head, nerve tissue, everything. That needs to be scrutinized. I'm willing to do it. I've got no problem with it. Like I said, I'm not looking for money. I got what I need. Living shitty compared to what I was before I lost my health, but I ain't dead. I'm not in the sewer anymore. Let's get down to some facts here. September of 1998, or the fall of 1998, I started using the cell phone I showed you. Rented it from Bell Atlantic Mobile. It was an expensive deal, dude. No doubt. But I had my own business. I was making good money, and that's why the time got spent as it did. The magnitude at which I received the radiation doses that I did were so compounded by the fact I was inside my truck. The phone was continuously hooked up. I thought it was just an outside source of power. Turned out my battery is charging on the cell phone 24/7, because that thing was plugged in pretty much all the time. I don't be unplugged. When I get out of the truck, I take it out, I put it on I always wear carpenter pants or bibby overalls, and I had this pocket, this cell phone fits perfect in there. And that's another thing. I got damage to the right leg. That's where I carried it most of the time. This has been documented by the VA. From the knee to the hip, there is no nerves. I suffer from muscle damage. I have a hard time walking because of it. That's real. I'm willing to give up tissue samples, scrutinize it microscopically. Got no problem with any of that. What bothers me so much is that it's taken me this long to finally get to this point where I had to do this to myself, and I shouldn't be doing this myself. I should be involved with scientific research. What really pisses me off is there's a David Carpenter. He's supposed to be an environmental scientist right down the road from me. He don't have the time of day for me. That's okay. Someday I hope he does, because if he's such a big, important, influential voice, he should be the one. He's my closest asset, so to speak. And yet, here I sit doing this crap on a freaking... Anyway, I used a cell phone from the fall of 98, and I kept using it even after September of 99, but September of 99 was my cutoff date for my industry, my business. And for a guy that for 20 some years I drove truck, I loved it with a passion. And I mean a passion. And that's perhaps a good portion of what drove my wife and I apart. You know, I had more love for my truck than I did for my family. Not true, but I knew that what I was doing was putting the bread and butter on the table. But, you know, there was an added plus to that. Little Benny was, I really loved what I did. Didn't walk away from it and stop it just to fake an injury that back then, and I mean, I know I can prove it, but back then nobody wanted to help me prove it. But it sickens me to know that here we sit, you know. Let me list off everything I've been suffering from. I started out with massive headaches, and it wasn't until sitting on the cell phone one night that I realized what was causing those headaches. And these headaches were not like any headaches I've ever had before in my life. And to this day, I mean, I can describe it, and when I tell people about it, other people know, you know, they talk to me about their use of cell phone, and they realize that they have headaches. You know, God help them, but, you know, I pointed that out to a few people. Headaches don't happen from here. All my life, if I ever had a hangover, God, my head. But this is, you know, my headaches were totally centrally, I mean, they were located right here. To this day, it feels like I'm still got pain. It's an ache, a dull ache. Right now, I'm telling you, while I'm talking to you, this is what's going on with me. The headaches were the biggest issue. Not to make light of any other symptoms that I dealt with, but they were the biggest issue. And once I've learned how to control them, I don't control them, but I have learned to tolerate them. They've gone sideline. They're still there, but I still suffer from multiple other symptoms. When I got sick, it involved much more of memory problems, decision problems, anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia. Of course, my blood pressure is hard to deal with right now. I'm way overweight. I've ate myself into complete cowness. You know, shamefully, I don't eat right for a number of reasons, but, you know, that's another issue. But the insomnia, I haven't slept more than 2 hours straight without the use of some kind of pharmaceutical in all these 12 years. And I've given up on doing, I can't do any drugs anymore. I live with what I got. I don't go out in the world too much because that is what I am. I sleep for a couple hours, I get up. Sometimes I'll be up for 12, 15, 20 hours. Sometimes I'll be up for an hour or two, feel exhausted, lay back down again. The anxiety and panic attacks I've learned to deal with. Memory problems, decision-making problems, they're all factors. My ears, especially this year, has not stopped ringing in 12 years. Massive amounts of ringing. And, God. Yeah, the traumatic brain injury symptoms, like I said, if you look at a checklist, I've all suffered from them all, with the exception of one or two. I either have suffered or still suffer from most of them to this day. Now we're getting down to the 10-minute mark. We'll stop again. Like I said, I'm going to just keep rambling on these clips, and hopefully somebody will pick up this shit and put me to use. That's all I want. I need to be a part of saving lives, because I know nobody should be dealing with what life I've had for the last 12 years. Have a good day.